Previously on Obscurus Lupa Presents...
Fuck it.
You could be dead wrong.
What's that?
Downer!
I'm the fruitiest vampire in all the land.
I'm Luke Perry, motherfucker!
See you next time. What the... Where am I? Huh. Wow, that was good. This is the first for Obscurus Lupa Presents, but the film I'm reviewing is a genuinely great film. Phantasm is a great mix of atmosphere and story, leaving the viewers curious for more. For those of you unfamiliar with it, Phantasm is a 1978 film by Don Coscarelli about a boy named Mike and his brother Jody. When a friend of theirs dies mysteriously, Mike is stalked by the Tall Man, the creepy undertaker who is more than he seems. The story is fairly simple here. Jody has been taking care of Mike since their parents passed away 2 years ago, and he's thinking about leaving town and sending Mike to live with their aunt. Most of the movie consists of Mike following him around when he's not following the Tall Man around. The movie is very dreamlike, blurring the lines of fiction and reality, particularly after the Tall Man reveals himself for who he really is.
Light it up.
Mike and Jody are fairly average brothers. They have their issues and play off as very real and likable characters. Mike desperately wants his brother to stay, and Jody, despite wanting to leave, still cares for his brother, even going so far as to lock him in his room to protect him from the Tall Man. They're also joined by their friend Reggie, an ice cream man who doesn't get too involved with the plot until late into the movie.
Yeah, we'll lay that sucker out flat and drive a stake right through his goddamn heart!
You gotta be shitting me, man. That mother's strong.
The Tall Man is by far the strongest character, played perfectly by Angus Scrimm. He doesn't have a lot of lines, but his presence is just creepy. The scariest moment of the film has to be when Mike is lying in bed and the camera pans out to reveal the Tall Man hanging over him. The movie isn't short on horror elements. The Tall Man has one of horror's most iconic weapons, his spears that he uses to kill people. The ball stabs into someone's head, drills inside it, and then pours all of the blood out. There are other variations of this, all very gory and effective. He also has this nasty habit of his body parts turning into other things, such as when Mike cuts off his finger and it becomes... something. He has these minions that are similar to Jawas, except a little bit sillier. Namely, they're shrunken down corpses. I wish I were making that up, but I'll get back to that in a bit. The Jawa things can get ridiculous pretty fast, but they're creepy and effective when used well. The best scenes with them are when they aren't shown very much, or when they stay hidden until it's too late.
Let's get out of here, quick!
Michael, what is going on?
Just get me home.
What the hell's that?
Oh, shit. Get out of here. Don't open it!
So what exactly is the Tall Man? What is his plan? What does Mike have to do with it? Well, the truth is, we never really know, and for this installment, it works. When Mike, Jody, and Reggie discover his hidden room in the mausoleum, they find containers with the Jawa corpses inside them. They also find a portal to his planet, his home dimension, and make a guess that he's shrinking down the corpses because of the atmosphere there so they can be shipped as slaves. I think. Really, all we see is them walking in a line in a desert somewhere. Maybe there's a lucrative conga business, who knows. Wherever the place is, it looks creepy and desolate. I would say the movie is perfect, but the thing that kills me is the ending, and it all falls apart. While the rest of the movie had a great way of balancing fantasy and reality, where you didn't get all the answers but still came away satisfied, the end ruins it. So prior to this scene, Jody and Mike have fought the Tall Man, thrown him down a mineshaft, he's come back as a woman and stabbed Reggie pretty fatally, and Mike goes back to the mineshaft to see if the Tall Man is really dead.
I hear the sounds. I know those rocks aren't gonna hold them. Not for long.
Hey, you had a dream. Just a nightmare. What do you expect? You've hardly slept since the funeral last week.
I know those rocks aren't gonna hold them. First he took Mom and Dad. Then he took Jody. Now he's after me.
Mike, that tall man of yours did not take Jody away. Jody died in a car wreck.
What just happened? Why is Mike living with Reggie? Was he his legal guardian, being the local ice cream man? Jody died in a car accident, so what? Was this whole movie a dream? But then why did the Tall Man appear at the end? And if the Tall Man really existed and he did take Jody like they're implying, assuming that he faked the car accident, then how would Mike know about him? And if this whole thing was a dream, how did we see things that Mike didn't see, like Reggie getting stabbed or the guy at the beginning getting killed? Why? Why? Okay, forget it. The rest of the movie was good, it's earned its place as a cult classic. In fact, I bet we get the rest of the answers in part 2. Let's see. Phantasm 2 succeeds in not only not answering a thing, but in bringing up more unanswered questions. It drops the moody atmosphere of the first movie to instead adopt more of a marketable storyline idea, which is both good and bad. While what made the first one creepy is gone, you do get to know more about the characters and care about what they're doing. That being said, it is a little bit of a step down. The story starts up where the last film left off. Mike is grabbed by the Tall Man's Jawas, and Reggie rescues him by beating the hell out of them gremlin style and blowing the shit up out of the house. Careful not to show Mike's face, we wouldn't want to know it's a stunt double. We cut to 7 years later, when Mike is being released from a mental institution. Why is he in a mental institution? Wasn't he kinda, right? Hello?
Now, does that strike you a little strange, Riggs, that every single corpse in this entire graveyard's missing?
Well, what do you want, Mike?
I want to stop him.
The Tall Man. That story about me blowing up my own house because it was infested with midgets. Mike, that wasn't real.
What? No! No, you don't get to do that. Maybe I can buy that the first film was a dream and he didn't really get stabbed in the stomach, but you can't just write out the first 10 minutes of the same damn movie. What the hell, man? You blew up your house. You can't pull the denial bullshit here. Your house is gone. They also add to the storyline that apparently there are other children the tall man is after, and by after I mean farting around and just messing with them for 7 years, and Mike is somehow connected to them just because. And by them I mean one girl. And by connected I mean the plot said so. Mike tells Reggie he has to save her and track down the tall man, and Reggie's like, oh really? And Mike's like, yeah really? And Reggie's like, STFU, and Mike's like... So the two of them are driving home to see Reggie's family.
Aunt Martha came down and Celeste baked a turkey. And you know, little Bonnie, she just can't wait to meet her Uncle Mike. She's been talking about it all day.
I'd say it was contrived that they had to blow up Reggie's family to get him to come along, but considering that they introduced them in this movie and wouldn't have needed to blow them up if they just stuck to the story about Reggie blowing up his first house, I just don't know anymore. The rest of the movie follows the two of them as they track down the tall man, cutting back to the other chick every once in a while as she tries and fails to address the audience. As far as the rest of the main cast goes, the acting is pretty solid. Reggie is a bit more of a badass this time around, focused on revenge for his still inexplicably blown up family. Angus Scrimm returns as the tall man, delivering a solid and creepy performance. Really, the only weak point seems to be James LaGrosse, who they recast as Mike this time around. He just seems a bit pretty boy and whiny, and the way they dress him is like they're trying too hard to make him boyish. This makes it even more obvious that they cast someone too old for the part. He says that he's 19 when the actor is 26 at this point. His acting is okay, but he's miscast as Mike and it shows. What worked for this installment were the hokey things they added that made the movie fun. For instance, there's a scene where Mike and Reggie break into a store and customize their own weapons, including a 4-barrel shotgun. You can definitely see the Evil Dead 2 influence this time around. In the same scene, Mike gives Reggie a chainsaw to use. The chainsaw is then used in an awesome fight between Reggie and one of the tall man's lackeys. At one point, we even see a bag labeled Sam Raimi, the director of the Evil Dead films.
Come on, you mother!
The spheres also make a return and get even more gruesome, including a scene where one burrows into a man's back and comes up through his throat. The Jawas aren't as scary this time around since they show them a bit more, but they make good lackeys for the main villain. The scene where Reggie and Mike are getting sucked into the portal again and Reggie sees one of the Jawas coming out of its tube is creepy as hell though. I'm also curious as to why the tall man can reanimate corpses now, when before he had to make them into Jawas. And why did the cars blow up in every film, no matter how minor the accident is? It's important to talk about the so-called climax of this film. In an earlier scene, Reggie replaces the goop that the tall man is embalming the corpses with acid. Later on, Liz injects the tall man with it, and he gets pretty melty and dead. Just for good measure, they use their flamethrower to torch the place, and they get picked up by this girl Reggie wanted to have sex with, and they drive off. It turns out that she has a gross hair thing, well, Reggie is presumably killed again, and then this happens.
Listen to me. This is not happening. We're gonna wake up. It's a dream.
It's only a dream.
No, it's not.
No, you don't unmelt! I don't care what he is. I can believe the mineshaft thing, but the acid, he was pretty melty. That's it. I'm not reviewing any more of these. They're too confusing. I'm getting the hell out of here. What the?
Where do you think you're going?
Who said that?
Oh, you'll find out soon enough. But you're not finished yet.
You're not making me review Phantasm 3 and 4. I won't do it. Forget it.
If you don't keep reviewing, I'll make you watch Jerry again.
You monster! Fine, I'll do it. But I won't like it. Well, folks, the show must go on.